Actually, I forgot to mute my mic, but I'll just leave it like that. Hello. Good morning. Is it morning? Somebody in chat before said they were just going to bed. I haven't. I just watched the pilot, so I haven't actually watched the first couple episodes of it yet. I heard good things, and it was very entertaining. So. 5 p.m. in UK. Yeah, that's actually why I run it around now. Normally I stream on Twitch in the evening, but it's like midnight for UK, so I feel bad. So that's why this one's earlier. What are we doing today? Well, I'm giving you just a couple more minutes because I said 11, so I'm going to hold it to 11. Hear the song Addict? No, not really. I've just started watching some of the stuff now. But no, what we're doing... So I kind of started a thing. Originally I wanted to do a monthly, but I kind of changed it to... because normally I put out videos on Fridays, and I've been... I like doing a live stream afterwards, because people like back behind the scenes stuff. So it's kind of the idea behind it, is to make something, and then if people want to see kind of the behind the scenes. $9 a.m. It's actually, that's the reason I did 11 a.m. because at least for United States on the West Coast, it's 9 a.m., which isn't that bad. But it's still morning for me because then coffee makes sense. Sorry for the kind of the later notification on this. I'll probably talk more in a little bit, but this week was a long week, and so I was considering just holding or not doing this one because it's been one day after another stuff. So, but I said, whatever, I'll still do it. It's 11 here, so I'm gonna. Hello, people. Now my camera's way. There we go. Hello, how are people doing today? Welcome to coffee stream. Is it okay? Good. I was like, wait, is my camera reversed? No, it says coffee. So this is coffee on that side. This is where I get my coffee. So your side's better. Good morning. If it's morning for you, if it's not, good evening, good afternoon, good middle of the night. If it's like 3 a.m, what do you tell somebody? It's not good night. I don't know. Is there whatever? Anyways, hello. So just to kind of cover everything, I kind of mentioned just a bit ago. So the whole point of like this, I guess, is to be a AMA and to show kind of some behind the scenes stuff anytime after I put out a video, because I think people enjoy that and it allows a little bit of interaction and get some input from people. So that's kind of the idea behind this is, I guess. I already have some questions here, so I'm just gonna get right into that. There's way less Emperor's New Groove reference. Actually, that was a title that was somebody on Twitch gave, because I'm not very creative when it comes to titles, and so I asked for some different titles, and it's not a movie reference, but it fits, and so I really liked it, so I decided to go with it and keep it. So, I mean, there's more to New Grooves than just a movie, but I found it funny, and it's I don't know, I liked it, so I just went with it. Doing good. How are you? Oh, hello, Steel Storm. I hope you're doing well. I am doing really well. It is Saturday, and I'm doing good. Hoggle, are you a brony? Yeah. It'd be really weird if I made all this content and I wasn't. Good morning. Yeah, if it's morning for you. I love watching videos. Thank you. Who's your favorite MLP villain? That's a hard question. I think the only one I really never liked was Discord. I don't know why. I never felt he was evil in any way, but I feel like most of the others, and Cozy Glow. Cozy Glow was just creepy. I don't know. I didn't really like her very much. But like Chrysalis and Sombra were just cool because you could get a really funny side of them, but you could also get a really dark side of them, and I liked that kind of in between stuff. Like Discord, I think he's a character that's open for stuff, which is pretty fun. And but I think some of it too is it's I look at the villain and the way that I can use them. Like Discord is one that's hard to work with because of the snake-like nature of him. And Cozy doing some things just seems wrong, being little kid. But the other two, I love low light, dark scenes, and they are perfect characters for doing that. That's actually one of the reasons I really want. I really want to do something somber for a while, and this kind of what came out of it. I'm still going to be able to watch you create the video on Twitch and then be able to watch it as an actual video. Oh yeah, Hello Night. Yeah, so most of this video, I think, when did I start this one? This was early December. So it took about 2 months. I actually wanted to finish it a couple weeks ago, but the nature of the content with the election and how the politics were in America, I decided it was not a good idea to put out a video about regicide within the same week of the election or the inauguration. So I held off pushing to get it done. So yeah, is that? But it took about 2 months, but it was fun. So yeah, on Twitch, I'm if you want to actually watch me make stuff and don't mind stuff being spoiled, you can actually watch it all be put together. Being able to create, destroy entire fabric of time. But at the same time, if you were able to create and destroy the entire fabric of time, what would your perception of time be? Like, it's like, for instance, when you get your driver's license and when you think of something that is far away, like when you're a kid, far away might be the neighbors or down the street to you, what you have control of. But when you have your license, suddenly now what's far away is different, and it's a frame of reference based on what you have control of. And I would think that what would his view of the world be when you can do stuff like that? That's kind of interesting in itself. Your favorite princess? I always Celestia, if I had to pick one. And that might be a little biased because her model was one that I had a lot of fun with earlier on. But I always thought she was fun. Are you a Rainbow Dash fan? Yes, she's the best horse. I'm going to bring some nostalgia for a few people here. Remembrance. Actually, if you go back, did I do one of these for Remembrance? I did Astraeo. Change plans, and then I think I did show some stuff, but I never did one specifically for Remembrance. But I know one of these previous ones, if you look back, there's a bunch of behind the scenes that's in there for that. I knew Cozy Glow was evil when she first came into the show. Yeah, she's evil, but not visually evil. And from my perspective, I like the visual side of stuff. I realize I haven't checked out your channel in a while. I've actually been a lot more active the last 8 months. I'm trying to get back into a groove of things. I changed some things around. Just 2 days ago, I updated Patreon with other tiers and stuff, and I brought on an editor recently in a paid position, and I have a couple other ones that are going to be opening so that I can try expanding some stuff a bit because I want to see things grow, and so I changed some things around to make it so it's possible. And he is thinking everything and nothing at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. That would be Discord is. That's something I got to think about now that I think about it. Like, what would his worldview be? Puts away pitchfork. Well, good. That's how the fandom works. Is who's your favorite horse? And if you don't answer right, it's the wrong answer. The point before she said I failed. Where as she ducks her head, she smirks. Oh yeah. No, I wouldn't be surprised. There's from. One of the problems I've had with doing like video creation and stuff is you start thinking about story development, like how do you provide the information to somebody at one point to ensure that they have the information they need to get a joke or to understand something that's further down the line. And you start seeing when other shows do that too, because putting something in anywhere requires that somebody physically kind of create and place it there. So everything has a reason to be there. Sometimes it's just for the aesthetic and the environment, but sometimes when things stand out, they're trying to get you to see it, and then it gives me to start asking the questions of why did they want me to see that, and so I can start. It kind of ruins some things because I start seeing things before they're going to happen, or figuring out things before I'm supposed to, because I'm like, well, they put that there, and why would they have put that there? That's really weird. Or they have 3 of these same things in a row, but they're not all the same. One of them's different, but that requires budget to change that one thing that's different from the other. So, hello, Azrael. It's fun getting to talk to an amazing YouTuber. Well, thank you very much. I'm actually glad there's enough people in here that I can kind of keep up with stuff. Had me thinking you had brought Bernie Dan's party back from the dead, bro. Missed those guys. Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a while. I actually I didn't even know who he was until I think it was like we were in the lobby of at Everfree Northwest at a hotel, and I was introduced to him at first, and then I'm like, who? But now I know. Yeah, he's a cool dude. Let's see. What's your favorite characters from MLP? When I usually look at what characters are my favorite from MLP, I kind of end up picking the ones that I like working with. I love working with Rainbow Dash, not just because best horse, but because the hair color works best with a lot of the lighting that I use. The hair itself works better compared to most models, just works well. Has a lot of flexibility to it. I love the dark characters because I like night scenes. I love high contrast. So I tend to pick characters that work out for that a lot. So I tend to pick like green and blue in a lot of those. Let's see if I'm just kind of skip ahead. Please do some Fallout Equestria. I've had shows before, but I've towards the end, if I have time, I have some old canceled Fallout Equestria stuff that I never used, that I probably never will. I can show you guys. It's just scope creep. It got too big. Will you ever just stop uploading? No, I don't plan on. Actually, I plan on uploading more. Right now, I'm trying to do like an every 2-week thing with an animation every month or two, and we have plans for later this year adding another channel for non-animation stuff, and it's bringing on some people to try to do it to a weekly thing. So I'm taking it slow because I don't want to push beyond my means and then like bankrupt myself because I'm paying people. So hello Jules, welcome back with food. I hope it is good food. Did Trixie kill the cake or Celestia just Celestia? Okay, so actually that or I'll jump into some behind the scenes stuff for you. Let me. Okay, if I use this chat, I can actually see when people highlight. Hello, Neon. So let me move to this screen. So, can I expand this chat? I apparently can't. Okay, so that is tiny. I'm gonna go back to the other one. So, this video I started about the middle of early December of last year. So I'm gonna stop paying attention to chat for just a little bit because I want to kind of cover this stuff. So, the idea came about because and somebody brought it up in one of the chats a while back that like, why don't you just get your own voice actors and stuff to do stuff? And this audio came from Borderlands pre-sequel. It's Shifty Sheldon, I think. And I like using this like pre-canned audio because it's a limitation that allows me to actually be more creative. Sometimes if you're allowed too broad of a direction to go where you can have any voices or any character, that I just don't know what to do. And sometimes by having this audio that exists and then figuring out how to use it, a story comes out of it. And so this is what this is. This is most of the character's audio too. He doesn't say much. I just made good use of what was there. The whole idea with it originally was that it was just like he was giving missions in the game. So it was very much audio related around dark, like, you know, why don't you go kill something? And I think it's about corporations versus the government. And I cut out the corporations part to just be about the government. And so it's supposed to be that, like, our corporate overlords are trying to take over the government. And so that was kind of the idea behind it. And a lot of this just kind of flowed over time to put the whole thing together. And so the whole thing takes place within the Everfree Castle. I just kind of I kind of just picked this because it just worked. I wanted him kind of in a dilapidated castle that looked like his hidden base off in the distance that where where he does his like secret things. And originally, I think we have it turned off, or did I get rid of it? Oh, I deleted them. There was actually bones in the background here, and that was because we were thinking like maybe this was like a cult meeting and she was the only one that lived or something. That's why she has the name tag. And then I just left the name tag because I don't know why, but it's hilarious that she's just wearing a name tag and just looks like she had way too much coffee. So that was the whole idea behind that. But I got rid of the skeletons mainly because the white on the dark ground made them usually too bright, and so instead we just covered it some stones all over the place instead. And so the whole Trixie doing what she did here was because in let me see here, in this video, not this, let me actually open it. Yeah, on this one, she kind of does that at the end here. And I thought that face was really funny with her. And so it kind of ended up being like, I want to use that face again in something. And it just took way too much of a life on its own. The nice thing, though, is that animating her was super, super simple then, because I didn't really have to do anything with her. She just kind of stands there and every now and then like bounces or moves her head. It was... So most of the time in here was spent on Sombra doing whatever it is that Sombra does. Yes, I agree, Steel Storm copy. Yeah, I wonder why she was wearing a name tag. So yeah, the name tag was just, it was, I remember I was just like thinking like, what do I, because if you don't have the name tag on her, it's just Trixie. But I like when you can have something that begs a question without an answer. Like, as soon as you add this in, it feels like there's context for it that you can add in tons of different directions, but you don't have any of that information, so you can take it tons of directions. And I love being able to have people, it's like with Remembrance, where people had tons of theories on how things went and what everything meant. And I loved that because it allowed a single video to actually have multiple meanings to multiple people. And so same thing here. By adding that in, now it actually creates this like wait, like, what does this mean? And you can create something from it. Plus, it's identifying for the character, because then Trixie with a name tag is this Trixie compared to just the general Trixie. Trixie's so cute in the video. Yeah, the little murder muffin. And so a lot of these, this is pretty standard shots for this part. Actually, this one's funny. I was having issues getting this camera or getting him spaced in there right. So I actually have her like literally slide to the side a little bit when the camera moves. You don't notice it because it allowed me to better position her next to him. But and when it comes to animating, you don't have to worry about anything other than what people see. So even with him coming in here, he's just kind of like, his back legs just slide. Who cares? This is doing the Sombra. He's a very good dancer, but he got denied. I did try to figure out how to do his magic. It's not really possible in SFM. I kind of just did something that was close. I had to figure out how to do this whole like image sequence thing just to get these lightning bolts to work right, and then I still feel like it didn't work out that great. Let's see here. Oh, so her teleport is just popping out because any particle effect would have probably been like would have added too much to the character. So instead I felt that I just love has anybody seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged? And in there, whenever Goku does his teleport, they just have him go like he just pops out of existence and pop back in. And I always found that hilarious. So it's kind of going up the same premise. A little detail of the cake slice on the knife. Yeah, so when she teleports in, so I'm not in the map for that to actually show. One of my concerns with making a video that was dark, potentially about like her going and stabbing somebody was, I like to give it where there's the potential for an out, and that's why the ketchup is there. And I was surprised how many people in the comments actually mentioned that the ketchup made it a prank instead. I did not expect people to actually catch that. I thought it was going to be a minor detail that nobody would actually catch. So that's why the ketchup is there, because that is with the idea of that you can either say she went and killed Celestia, or you could say that she was getting cake and missed. So I was keeping it so that there's an open to interpretation of however you want to see it. There was somebody in the comments that was very angry that I potentially hurt Celestia, and they were like, I dislike this video. I hate you. Like I care. So that's kind of why I did that. And having the cake on there just helped connect the two shots. And because I wanted to make sure that these two shots are not these two. So from here to here was essentially the same thing, that it was just her coming exactly back in the same position, the same everything, but now her name tag is tilted sideways as if something had happened, but you don't know what that is. She's a cake killer. Yes, she is. She's lactose intolerant, and she was angry because she can't have the milk. Yeah, hoy. Some of these shots, like Sombra's model actually had more facial control than I thought, but I do not like from the front. Anytime I started pulling his jaws back, it looked like he was a dog, and he had like the jaws like blah, 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 and it frustrated me a lot. I'm not a big fan of how the mouth looks from the front. From the side, it looks fine. I just wasn't a big fan of how it looked from the front. Yeah, so she drops her cake here. And originally, so this shot here for Luna coming through the door wasn't the original idea for it. The original idea was here. So it was to have them say like, I actually can't hear the audio myself right now.
Too far to stop now.
So where he would, too far to stop now, he would point at the door, and then it would be out looking out the window, and then it would just like zoom in on Luna. So it's kind of similar, but I didn't like it. It just broke pacing, and trying to figure out how to make all of them potentially move or interact or even just lit correctly was just too much. I couldn't do it. So I changed the shot. What was this one? Oh, and there was the other idea of instead of Luna being very angry, that he instead says, you're halfway done. And then slides to showing Luna just sitting there having tea with Sombra, and then being like, wait, what? Because there was a line that has him say, because it's a mission, it's about saying you're halfway done. But then I felt like all that was doing was taking the original joke, copy pasting it, and then it was just using the same joke twice instead of making a second joke. And so I got rid of it and just didn't use it. You don't need cocaine to be addicted. Sugar is almost as addicting, or if not more addicting than a lot of those. Have you seen DJ Thed's pony models? Yes, I have. They look really cool. The one thing I'm worried about with some of those is the closer you get to reality, the more detail you have to put into their animation to make it work. And then it's just going to take... I like making videos, and if I put a ton of detail in everything, it's just going to start increasing complexity to where it's going to take longer and longer and longer to make things. That's like Luna here. Like, I could have made her actually like scream, like made more legitimate. But sometimes simpler is better, and here in this case, it was just funny. And that's literally the most I could open the mouth. And I think that scream is it's a slowed down version of the fast zombie from Half-Life 2. Is there any other sneaky things in here? Oh, so these guards were originally, I don't think I have it set up anymore, but they were originally going to surround them. And I think it was Kalanin, one of my patrons. He mentioned in the supporter chat in Discord about the jumping guards that I've done for some of the preview images, and I was like, haha, you gotta be funny. But then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? It's gonna take forever to animate these, and that might actually be funny in a reference to some of the other jokes I made with the jumping guards. So I did it. And then I'm like, well, so they need to be doing something. So I grabbed the rabble, rabble, rabble from South Park and have that in the background. So that's what's the audio being played. Either that or actually having them like bark would be kind of funny. But then I feel like that's like I wanted them to still be people. And then, yeah, this was always the case where I wanted it at the end where she was like implying, like, I'm gonna go do more of it, and then pop, even if it was Luna or whatever. This scene was actually added I created this fully on Wednesday of this week from like beginning to end. It's simple, so it wasn't that bad, but I want to have a card, something at the end of the video that I can put, because now I'm now putting patron names on the credits, depending on the tier, and cards for stuff. But usually, as soon as people get to the end of the video and they see cards come up in credits, they immediately go boop and stop watching. Which, trust me, I do all the time. I'm to blame on that too. But I like to add stuff there to keep people around, because if there is credits for people that helped work on stuff, I like having their name seen, and also for the patrons that support. So I like having people stick around. So if you keep adding things after credits or during credits, you get that premise, or you get that a larger amount of viewership, because otherwise you can just watch everything as soon as the end of the video hits. So, but then very manly scream. So he but I thought it'd be funny, just like that Trixie can't be stopped. She's on a murder spree, and I put the little pop sound there, so it sounds like she pops in behind him, and like after his victory, she's just kind of This is Trixie. It's just she's very very flexible Trixie. She knows what Sombra's been up to. That or she's sleepwalking. I'm actually not sure on that one. Anyway, so it's kind of like, I guess, some behind the scenes for the video. There is, I think it's this shot. Yeah, so we still have Posh Trixie. I forgot about this. Obviously I'm not going to render with it, but she's very, she's got her top hat too. She's very fancy. I'll leave that up there for you. It's kind of cute. I like it. So I'm gonna try to see if I can catch up some of the questions here you guys are asking. I just wanted to make sure I didn't get distracted, so I can actually go through that. So I'm gonna scroll way up here. Do you read MLP fan fiction? What are your favorite works? Well, I made a whole trailer on Australia. That's probably my favorite fan fiction. Otherwise, oh my god, I don't know the names of a ton. I've read a lot. I don't read as much anymore. Australia is now being updated again, so I've been trying to catch up on that. But if I had to give at least one fic, or at least one or two, I'd say Australia, and then Bluebird Song. Bluebird Song is one reason that Rainbow Dash is best poem. It's an older book, but it's really good. I like the catch up. Looking for anything with a question mark here. Is if there was something you add to or change MLP Friendship of Magic, what would it be? Twilight Corn? No, I think the Twilight Corn's fine. Because that's just a natural progression for a show where you have to go bigger and bigger and bigger. She can go to the corner here. If I had to change something in the show, I think it would have been cooler if they explored the dragons a bit more. I love dragons, and their designs I thought were really good, but they never really went into them very much. They had a couple episodes, and that was it. I mean, it's a pony show, but I wish they would have put a little more into it, and not just Spike, but like the whole everything. My Little Dragon, just make a whole spin-off series. Please don't use 15.ai. I don't plan to, actually. If I'm in a position where if I need voice actors, there's people I can contact and pay to do a custom better job. 15.ai is if I want to do a meme and get it done within the same day, or something that's really quick and is a joke. But if I actually need good VAs for something, I don't plan to. I've used 15.ai just to make goofy lines, but I've never used any for stuff. I do plan to, if I need something, I will. There are plenty of people that have already contacted me before about doing voices, and they deserve work more than an AI. What do you think is more unpredictable, Discord or Pinkie Pie? That question doesn't have an answer. They're both unpredictable. I hated yesterday's video. You're welcome. Discord is the reason Pinkie Pie is the way she is. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's something related to it. Just for anything, an alternate reality Trixie. You can. This is Rich Tricks. Rixie? Rich? No, you can't. That can't make that word. I'm trying to think of like Trixie Pashamoon, because we call her Posh Trixie. A little detail with the cooks, like the cake slice and the knife. Do this. Yes, he was dancing. What is cringe as Ponies, but with different voices like Applejack with an Australian accent. I wonder how some of that would work. Could you? Nah. You could probably find VAs that'd be able to do some of that. The only thing I know from DBZ Abridged is that no whacking is in it. Yeah, actually, she did a couple different ones. Did I do one with her voice in it? She was the Alishai ones. Technically, she was a police girl from that. Sure, only no whacking from Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. I don't know if she was in Dragon Ball. I thought she was. I'm not 100% sure though. And you guys are probably seeing stuff below, but I'm catching up. Kind of jumping ahead. My biggest pet peeves when people don't put end pages at the end of a video and the end cards cover up the last few seconds of the video you're trying to watch. Yeah, well, I actually have a couple older videos that are that way because end cards didn't exist back then, and so I was trying to add them in, and I'm stuck with where to put things. So now I'm building. I can actually build it around that. So and that's why at the end shot here, I left this whole half empty, and then I was going to put the Patreon credits down here. So I built it to work that way, and then I got rid of the credits when Trixie popped up. So I made it so that all you're missing is this, but that doesn't really matter. But I made it specifically for that because I agree. But when it comes to videos that existed before end cards, I really don't have a choice. If I want to have any end cards, and they are important, they really do help push and drive people to other content. You're kind of screwed. I have a couple videos that I have not put some on because it actually felt like it was too much in the way compared to. But I do try to work around them. To music character because mine is Vinyl Scratch. I don't really have a favorite for music character, I guess. There's only a couple anyway. I think. Oh no, it just jumped. Why is it that no villain has decided to just get a knife and murder the main six? Because that would really be against the nature of the show. Who here likes Pony Life? Never actually watched it. I like some of the memes that came from it, and Fat Rainbow Dash on the couch eating potato chips is like my spirit animal. Can you do a Twilight V Alicorn to use an Alicorn amulet? And he's stolen wings from Celestia, please. I try not to grab ideas from other people because that gets messy. I have other ideas, but most of them are really long. I'm trying to stick to some short ones so that I can keep content coming out instead of disappearing for 2 years. That nobody wants that. Having like the first 4 comments of a video saying, "Hey, you're alive," but you've been constantly working on stuff for like 2 years, kind of disheartening. So I'm trying to keep things more often or bring on help so that I can make it more often myself. What character have you not made an animation about yet that you want to make? That's a good question. What character have I not done? I love villains because I just love the flexibility that you have with them. I want to go back to Posh Tricks actually. But I think I've done every villain to a degree. I really want to do more Chrysalis though, because you can do I have some neat ideas on her, and you can the color of her model and everything. Actually, Sombra I had a different idea for full length, really like emotional video, but I changed my policy on the use of copyrighted music, and it kind of the cost to get a license for it was too much, so I kind of had to throw that idea out. But I've had a bunch of ideas for Sombra, and this one just kind of ended up being the first. But I really kind of want to play with them more because it's just I love these low light, creepy type. I love making a villain look like a villain. I think it's fun. What character have you? Okay, I just answered that one. I just watched a new video. Well, thank you. Go watch it again. Uh, what other anime would you like to ponify in the future? I'm not planning on doing any more of those. I originally did ponify Full Metal Alchemist because I just like that intro, and I wanted to make an anime type intro from for Australia, but I didn't feel comfortable jumping right into it without getting some practice. So I did Full Metal Alchemist so that I could take the anime and put it and ponify it, kind of. So that when I went to do Australia, and that was an original story in original areas and not just recreations of certain scenes, that I had a better idea as to what to do, and it did help. I don't plan to really do any more of those because trailer type videos like that are immensely difficult. Like here, all of these shots from this video are all within the same area. So only thing that really changed between it is I had to modify some of the lighting and animate the characters. But in a trailer type thing, I'm constantly rebuilding scenes, and a lot of the scenes are specific to that story or that angle. And so I'm spending weeks potentially building a 2-second shot, and then I'm never going to use that scene again. It was a lot of time for how short the video is. And so that's like Australia took me, I think, a year, even though it's as long as this one is almost. It just was way too much. It was way too much work. And so I'm not planning on doing anything with that right now. I really like your videos. They are funny. Well, thank you very much. A comedy is my favorite because you can make something that's like 2 minutes long or not 2 minutes. You can make something that's 10 seconds long and be just as impactful as something that's like, if you try to make something that's emotionally investing, like Remembrance, you can't do that in like 10 seconds. You need time to build up to it. And so that's why comedy is great. When does live end? It's usually ended around, I was thinking 1. I was only going to do it for an hour, so about noon. So like whatever, about 25 minutes from now. Let me see here. Demon Slayer. I actually is the next season on that? I just realized Dr. Stone's back on. Like I have to catch up on that. Because that was a really good anime. But Demon Slayer is another good one. I did to keep up on that because I keep missing out on some of this, like the next seasons for stuff, because I could just not paying attention. What made you think of a MLP and Full Metal Alchemist crossover? I just love that song. I love that intro, and I just wanted to explore a different concept, and so that's kind of why I did it. It was, and just to get practice for the other stuff. And at that time, it's just, if I get passionate about something, I'll start it. But the problem is you get passionate about something, and then like 3 months later, you're not passionate about it anymore, but you're stuck working on it because it's now a super long project. That's what's nice about some of these shorter ones is I can usually still maintain the passion through the project. But if at 6 months, you're not getting as much feedback, you have a channel that's not posting anything, it just ends up, you get burned out. And so that's why some of those long projects I just can't do right now. I've been focusing on the smaller stuff. What do you think of, let me see, catch up. Oh my God. What's your favorite villain? Yeah, I kind of brought that before. If I had to choose a favorite villain, it'd probably be Chrysalis. Anytime she popped up, she was always fun. I was just thinking like Grogar, but yeah, I did something with Grogar too. Cozy Glow was in the same video with him, but I just thought it was again taking audio that existed. I only watch his videos if the female characters don't have a male voice. Some of those are fun. I just like throwing them on characters. There's so many TF2 audio clips from an old it was like 8 years ago or something. One of the Christmas events had it where they were talking about pink unicorns, and it was just funny. I remember using Arizona in an animation once. Have you played Fighting Herds? Even if just Storm? Nope, never played it. I'm not a big fan of fighting games like that. The only reason we used Arizona was because I needed to do a secondary like cow in the background, and I mean there was the joke that Yona was a cow, and that was meant to be like, no, she's not a cow, she's a yak, but that the changelings are just confused and don't know what the hell's going on. And originally it was going to be a Minecraft cow for the other one, but then somebody mentioned Arizona. We spent a while trying to figure it out and got the Arizona model to work. So how does that coffee taste? It's a little colder now, but it's now gone. It's which one is this? This is it's a Mexican Chiapas. It's a Mexican coffee, but it's one of my favorites. It actually is one of the flavor notes for it is mentioned as raisin, and actually it kind of does. It has like a little bit of a fruity. It's a medium roast, and this one I did on a V60, but normally I'll do it through an AeroPress, but it's kind of a raisiny sweet coffee, and I do really much enjoy it. Coffee's good with half and half. My current diet, because early this year I started doing intermittent fasting and stuff, so I can't eat until like about 1 o'clock, but I can drink black coffee, so it's black. But that's why I get fancier coffee, and I spend a lot of time making it because it actually makes black coffee good. Let's see here. Trixie is always on stuff. It was some of the inspiration for this Trixie character was is it Forgalorga that does the sunset not sunset shimmer, the Starlight Glimmer version. It's very similar, and that's actually where I was kind of going with that. And I thought about using Starlight for that, but then I felt like I was just using their character, so I did Trixie with the name tag instead. Your video is awesome. Thank you, Overtime. Appreciate it. I always forget about Nightmare Moon. Yes. The only thing that's difficult with Nightmare Moon is the main, because it's supposed to be like the floaty night stuff, and that's really hard to do in 3D, let alone SFM, which is not built to do that. I have done After Effects mains, and it works, but I was only able to make it work on a stationary, because it was actually one of my few times I did a commission. Where did I put this? Now I have to it wasn't like a me video, so I didn't put it in my normal folder. Oh, here we go. It was this one. So the main back here was done in After Effects. So this, and this none of it are in SFM. It is 100% in After Effects. When I rendered it, she was hairless. It took me a long time to figure out how to do that. But it only works when it's from this angle. Like if I were to have her churn or something, the effect would completely break down. It's all visual. And it works great as long as it's stationary. So, what you missed? Nothing much. Just goofing around. Where are you from? I'm United States. I'm in Minnesota. It's actually let's take a look at the temperature today. It is currently 0. Feels like -20. It's actually 0 it's supposed to get down to -13 tonight, Fahrenheit. I don't think I have it up for Celsius, but yeah, it is cold, and it's going to be, ooh, wow, Friday's supposed to be -17. It's really cold right now. I actually have the fireplace running just to keep it a little warmer, and even then, even though it's 10 feet from me, I'm still a little chilly over here, so it's nice and chilly, but this is just Minnesota winters. Why are so many ponies female? Because it's the nature of the show. It's made to be for little girls. So somebody had mentioned before that the society of ponies was more female than male, but yeah, but if they have a show that's about that's built for boys, you're probably going to have more of a focus on men, and you're going to see more men. So it's just natural that you're going to see more females in a show meant for the audience of girls. Most villains weren't inherently evil. Well, I don't think many people were born evil, but things happen. Oh, I always forget about Tempest. Tempest is also really, really fun. The model works great from the side, not from the front. Again, jowl situation, but I love the character, especially just from the movie. It's great. Who do you think would win a battle, Tyrek or Princess Derpy? Princess Derpy, only because she has the power of she has to win or people be angry. Dan fought Equestria Heroes. Yeah, that was from Heroes. Is it Equestria Narrator? I think so, they commissioned me. It was actually, I wanted to do basically a shot just like that with I think it was going to be with Blackjack. And so I already had the idea for it. And then they basically came to me and were looking to have one with, I already had it open, but with from Heroes instead. And I'm like, yeah, actually, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I normally don't do commissions, but if it's something that I already kind of wanted to do and sounded fun, yes, that was then one of the situations. One of the other ones was I really wanted to make a very similar type shot with SweetieBot. And then Prince came to me about making something that was basically what I was kind of wanting to do anyways. And so that's where, is that in the same folder here? I don't remember where I put that one. Oh yeah. Well, these ones are probably going to be, because it had to be split up. Now that's camera. Oh yeah, that, so I don't have the actual files for that one, but where is my SweetieBot one? Did I put it in this folder? I'm gonna put it in this folder? I don't remember where I put it. It's somewhere. But yeah, the one Prince, one of his more recent videos did, it just sounded like fun. So, and if something sounds like fun and somebody is looking for it, I don't mind helping them out. How do eclipses happen if Celestia and Luna raise the sun and the moon? It's a different universe. Magical ponies, man. So I mentioned before that I would show some stuff from if we had time here, some like I had some other Fallout stuff that I'd started, but I never really went anywhere with it. This might crash. We'll see. I don't think I can. I don't want to play the audio because I'm afraid of of content ID claim. But so originally I wanted to make a video, and I wish I had the books in front of me because I have like bookmarked every page from Fallout Equestria book. We're using the Ministry Mirrors, and I still kind of want to use some stuff from this. Yeah, I knew it would crash. But I forgot to post on here. Oh, sorry, Discord. But blah blah blah. No, I ended up not going forward with this because the audio that was used was too expensive to use. And what I mean by that is, if I used it, I wouldn't be able to monetize it. And with how I'm trying to get to grow and bring on some people to actually pay them to do some work, making content that I would be forced to not be able to monetize would basically go against that. And so it would hinder my ability to do certain things. So I never, so I might be able to repurpose some of the stuff, but as of right now, it's not going to be used for anything. And this was actually like 6 months of work in 2019. That's why I didn't really have much stuff in 2019 done. But like there's like Fluttershy on in an auditorium. I actually reused this shot for some other stuff that will be coming later from other people. Oh yeah, she has her drawbridge and guard towers and her crown. She has a crown on now too. But it was just I was taking various scenes from the book, and I was going to be recreating it, and I had a story that I wanted to tell with it, but it was going to be using every one of the actual scenes from the book, and so I had them all bookmarked. I had we went and read through it again as a group. We had like a little like fake book meeting group with our local people, and so we went and did when I'm reading through. Anytime one of the memory orbs came up, I went and marked it so that I could remember where to go back to for referencing on this stuff. So I want to stop by and say thank you for the great content. Have a great day. Well, thank you, Elemental. I appreciate it. How easy is it to use SFM? It's easy. I actually think it's really easy, but that's not the hard part about it. The hard part about it is the concepts behind it, like cinematography and animation concepts and all that stuff. Getting to know the software and the buttons to click, that's not that bad. By trying to figure out how do I make good content and how do I animate, that's stuff that SFM doesn't do anything with. That is fully outside of SFM. But yeah, so we had this shot. ignore the glow. The sky should actually be darker than that. But this is Apple Snack after the murderizing. And I think, do I still have the texture set up that way? I do not. It actually had it where it looked like there was rain coming down his side there, but and him there. Maripony with the close camera too. These weren't animated yet because these scene builds were, like I mentioned before, that doing trailer type videos is hard. This is why. Building all of these scenes, like placing all of these chairs and okay, it's really bothering me that drawbridge is there. All these chairs in a circle around, and then filling all of those with people. That scene alone would take me forever. Building this whole city. I mean, they're all pretty standard buildings, but doing that all, getting the light set and everything, little rocks in the ground to create just some shadows with the light that's coming through. That's all the stuff that takes time. Do you ever use Blender to animate? Not to animate. I've used it. I've ported a few models and used that as the in-between. And I've also done the Rathalos model. Rathalos, Rathian, Nergigante, and Toby. And there's one other one I'm kind of working on the side too. Adding the facial flexes to them, I used Blender for, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So it's all just kind of like hoping. So, like this scene build took me quite a bit of time too, because all these are just built from models that can be loaded. Ignore that these is kind of a white pony back there. He's a stand-in, but like all these pipes were placed. I get to build it from scratch. I wanted kind of an overlook window over these vats and tanks, and adding these cables and these little like charts and stuff, and all that. See, this was made like years ago, and look at it. They're already well ahead of time. They've got their masks on. Oh yeah, there's Rarity with her. I think this one has a second camera, doesn't it? Oh no, it doesn't. It's her in front of the cracked window. Though there is no actual window here, it's just an illusion. And like trying to figure out how to make a building to make it look like. But this is kind of the way I envisioned it, so that's what I'm kind of going with. To make sure I'm missing something. Almost been an hour. Yep, I got another 10 minutes here. What was the other shots here? Oh, this one originally, I actually really like this one. This one I probably put more time into than any of the others because of the full like animated factory back here. I'm actually moving the helmets and these machines actually going and like building stuff. These are actually lit too. But the reason for this shot is that there's a clanging of metal in the song that was used. And so these metal things, the stampers, are coming down and they are stamping with the music. This is not, I mean, obviously that's not moving at the same pace or actually stopping to do any of the thing with there. Hope on those portal assets. Yeah, I think those ones are. Yeah, well, I would think so. They got aperture listed on there. But like filling all these shelves to make it look like they actually had stuff in them. All that was done manually because I don't like taking like a pre-made asset that's like a larger thing that a bunch of people would grab and use, because then you're going to recognize it for being that thing. And like, for instance, if somebody goes and uses the map that I made for Remembrance, people are going to know it as the Remembrance map. They're not going to think of it as whatever type video that it's being used for. It is the Remembrance map. And so in this case, if I use some pre-made factory, people are going to be, oh, that's the factory from this, or from some other popular video they used it. So sometimes I like making my own stuff just to make sure that that's kept to be original. From what is this animation? It's from nothing. It was never released, and it's never been finished. This is the actually end of the video. I'm not going to go into the details of where I was going to be going with stuff, but that's where Rainbow Dash is dropping off the memory orbs in under Canterlot for Pinkie Pie, I believe. And then this was I think the lighting still set up on this. I want to do. We're going to modify that texture just a sec here, because that background isn't looking right. So it's using Sky 1. There it is. There we go. So okay. So now I actually added some false lights there to make it look like the explosion was reaching up. So this is actually just a flat texture on the background here of an explosion. It doesn't actually move. I just used negative and positive lights to make it look like it's actually expanding. These are... I can't turn off the lights to show because it would remove those lights, but they are... I think under the explosions. Oh yeah, here it is. So, like for instance, this one right here is not that one. Yeah, there it is. So there's a positive light and a negative light. And it's just a ring texture that I made myself, and then I just have the light expand and get brighter and dimmer. The effect on this actually was way sicker than I thought. Like, I am very happy with how that turned out. Because then I could make a flat texture. I couldn't find a good particle effect that looked like how I wanted it to. So instead I did this, and I am happy I did. And I learned some stuff along the way. And then you can see like the vines coming after her too. Isn't that part with the glass of flashback where it gets deaded? Yes, exactly. And where Fluttershy gets still practice, of course. Yep, that's exactly the scene from it. The whole end, the last like third of the video was going to be actually showing the moments where they died. And so I was going to have Twilight getting pulled into the vats. This is her scene for that. Applejack stepping into a vault and the door closing. Spoilers, but the book's been out for a while. And Rarity dying at the glass. And there was only part of this that was going to cross over into Project Horizons. It was going to use Project Horizons version of Pinky's death. So it was actually going to start with her getting shot. But the only one that doesn't have an actual canon, at least per book ending, was Rainbow Dash. And so she was going to be in there, but at the end. So I had it all. This was all fully planned out, like for the most part. I was just filling in the shots. It was just going to take a long time. And I had very little ability to storyboard it because this alone, this is only like 6-7 shots, is already topping out SFM's memory capability because there's just so much stuff loaded. So I had to start splitting this into files, but Australia was 4 separate save files because trailers are hard to make. So I had to split this, and there's another one here. What do you plan next? Or are you just leaving it as a surprise? Like for instance, the Sombra video, I came up with that like an hour before I started working on it on stream. That was very last minute. So as of right now, I'm working on a Rathlos thing, just a short one. We started it before the Sombra thing, and I'm just finishing it now. But that's just a Twitch, or that's a short that goes on Twitter on the Rathlos account, and then I will build a compilation later when I get enough of those. But as for what will follow up after this, I don't yet know yet. I'm still have to kind of think on that. So, but I'll find something. Again, I have lots of ideas, but most of them are just going to take too long. So what I want to jump into, I'm not sure. So this is just one of the filler shots. So this is Rarity at a desk, and I even like made this own little custom picture to fit on the wall for Pony of the Year. Obviously, there's a lot of those pictures because I was going to make more of them, but never got around to it. Yeah, Miss Rarity, the mayor behind the mystery of image, does things and stuff. But I'm really proud of that image. It actually turned really good. what's this? Oh yeah, that is right here. That is the image. I love this. I'm so happy with that picture. It turned out so good. What was the other one that I had here? Oh, okay. So this shot, I might play the audio with because with the audio, it's so much better. But it's going to crash. It didn't crash. Wow. Yeah, here. It should be fine. So there's a certain part in the video where, so it's going to be everything in the past, but I wanted to have a moment that jumped to the future. So where it's going to have a hallway that has some stuff going on, and then it's going to go to a picture, and when it went back from that picture, it was going to be the future, back when the same place is destroyed, dilapidated, destroyed, but it's going to be frozen in time, and then have it be where everything then comes back to this picture, and to then go back to the time that the rest of the video is, back when the miniature mirrors were a thing. So that was kind of the idea behind it. But this shot was taking me forever and wasn't actually fully finished because of the idea behind it. And so I might keep the lighting off because I don't think the lighting was finished. But this is essentially what it was. So it's just like a frozen in time. Everything's showing chaos in the future and how horrible everything was. This shot was just taking too freaking long to put together, and that's where that part of the shot ends, and then it's going to go backwards to this point, but then, like I said, it's going to return to the picture. And then that was going to have the picture shatter imagery. So, but it never, that'll probably never finish. But actually, if you go back into some of the highlights, the last couple, the ones that I've made, you actually see some stuff. There's highlights that have this content in there for this one right here, where I think this mayor was messing with stuff. To do stuff, that map. Yeah, it was like a mansion map. But yeah, that'll probably never finish. Do I have the lighting done in this? I don't think so. No, not really. Though this is actually using like the dirtiness on the walls. I couldn't figure out how to do it like correctly. Oh, that was a joke. That was one of the pictures I made as a joke for the background, do weird things on stream. But the actual dirt on the walls are negative lights that are actually shined at the wall to make it look like it's all dirty. The reason is because I needed a clean wall to actually use this scene in a clean way and then have it be dirty when it came back later. And that was the idea behind this, is I can turn this stuff off to go back and forth between a destroyed hallway and a not destroyed hallway. But how long did this take? This shot probably, I worked on this for like a month. That's why, like, if you look at my content, I have like nothing out in 2019 because I was actually working on this a lot and it just never came to fruition. But also during 2019, I was, what was I doing? I was doing a commission for not commission, but there's been other works that I've done for some people that have taken up some of the time too. So, and like I spent, like about 9 months ago, I spent some work did a pretty long video segment for a video for somebody, and it's for a larger part of a video that hasn't come out yet. So I spent like a couple months working on that stuff too. But yeah, I have a lot of canceled stuff. I changed my mind a lot. Well, a lot of it is I started a lot of stuff that was based on the use of copyrighted music, and I'm not doing that anymore. So some of those projects are no longer viable. And like I said, I could probably repurpose this. Maybe I can find something that is more open source, or maybe I can find a way to work it out where I can use that song for something, then sure. But most of them are actually fairly large labels, and that's when you're looking at potentially 4-digit number to get rights to a song, it's just not worth it. So anyways, but we are past our hour. So did you guys have any other questions or anything you guys definitely had some good questions that made me think. But if you have enough patron supporters, is our revenue basically pointless? Kind of. So the problem with YouTube is infrequent. So like when you put out something new, and I'm talking like animation, the bigger videos, that will usually drive a lot more at that moment, but it dies off over time. So it's inconsistent. And then in January, ad revenue on YouTube is about half of what it is in December. And then it will slowly go back up to what it is in December over the year because of Christmas season driving up the cost of advertisements. So Patreon is it helps make a stable version of money coming in, so that like for instance with having the editor now, if I want them doing consistent work, it's a consistent pay. But if suddenly like YouTube doesn't have anything big come out, I'm probably go negative because it just didn't work out in the balance. So then also like Twitch is I Twitch, or have a Twitch where we stream Tuesday and Friday, basically working on this stuff. That's basically what I do there. There's a link in the description if you're interested in never showing up, but we basically work on some of this stuff. And we've also been playing Fallout 76 on Sundays. So tomorrow we're going to be, one of our guys that we're playing with has no internet and probably till Monday. So we might be doing a Fallout board game instead. That was kind of what we're planning if that ever happens. But we would do some Fallout stuff on Fridays or Sundays. Sorry. But yeah, if you're and some of the people there help out too. That's been going really, really well. And I do plan to this summer where there's some other expansion stuff that we're going to potentially be doing. And so you might see 1 or 2 more streams on here where we are going to try to raise some money to get some of these projects started. And we'll probably be doing like a request stream where we'll basically just say if you any super chats that come through, we'll be making on stream. And it'll be very rough and really quick and dirty. We did it once on Twitch, but I might be doing that probably in late spring, so months from now. I just got here, but can say I love the effort and time you put into your work. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. How's your morning been going so far? It's been going good. It's been going real good. It's actually nice because like for the Sombra video, I ran into a lot of issues getting it finalized, and so I spent all Tuesday night streaming to get it done, and then all of Wednesday and Thursday night, and then Friday was the stream again. So it just been nonstop since Tuesday. Will you be making animations of switched heads? Oh yeah, sorry, you think you asked that earlier, or somebody did. No, I don't know if I'll make a video from that. That's where the highlights come in, where we like doing some of that goofy crap and putting things on things. You can spend channel points on Twitch for like stupid face, where that's where a lot of that stuff comes from, is people doing that. And then I just try to come up with something on the spot. Or now Michael, which is my roommate, who's upstairs, but you can put points. It's a lot of points, but he takes over the stream for 15 minutes and usually just makes derpy things for 15 minutes. And they're really crappy and really funny. So that's always good too. I see the last time you did that, it was a highlighted message. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to catch up with some of the comments there. Started 3D animation recently. Let's say that I gained way more appreciation for your work. It's a test of patience. I'd mentioned before that you might be super passionate about a project idea, like something you really, really want to do. And you're like, oh, I wish that I could like make this story or whatever. But the amount of time it takes to go from having that idea to having it completed you are more than likely going to have dozens more ideas and plenty of other things that you think are now better than that original idea, but you're now stuck on it. And that's where, if I were to have if I want to make a longer video, it's probably going to be where it's only like 1 or 2 shots, like 1 or 2 scenes that I'm working from, because otherwise I'm never going to finish it. Having something that's jumping all over the place is just too much work, mainly because it's just me. Like I mentioned, I have somebody that's handling some of the editing stuff for me now, but a lot of that is the highlights and the other things. This is the animation is still just me, but I do have plans to expand on that. For people handling lip sync and bringing on another animator. Just right now I can't afford it. So hopefully by the end of the year I can start doing that. We'll see. Things are slowly gaining traction. But yeah, it's a fun hobby, but it's also just it's a lot of work that you don't see. So especially working in a software like SFM, that is frustrating at the best of times. So enjoyed this stream. Thank you very much. If you are interested in the streams, like I mentioned in the description, there's a link to my Twitch. I literally stream anywhere from 5 to like 12 hours a week, working on stuff. So if you want to see it actually put together and chat at the same time, except for I'll have Michael sitting over here as well. But in the meantime, there's always Eat Chicken. That is second Michael, overlooking everything. So if you're ever interested, check that out. I've been streaming now on there for like 8 years. I don't like putting that content on here because that is spoiler. I'm basically telling people to stay away from it if they don't want spoilers on a place that they would go to get that stuff. It's not, I don't want to do that to people. So that's why Twitch exists for me. Chicken Overlord. Yes, he is good chicken. It's actually a puppet, but I just shove his wings up his ass because then he sits like a normal chicken. But yeah, he's very evil. If you've seen the highlights, he's in there. Good chicken. You don't attack me. Just beware of spoilers because the Twitch stream for those. Yeah, no, the Twitch stream definitely has. Depends on what you want to consider spoilers, but if you'll see the video produced, and in doing so, you're seeing everything that's going to happen. And so some jokes then won't hit because you won't. The timing isn't there, but at the same time, you see how they're developed and put together. So it just depends on what you're looking for. If you don't want to see what's coming next, exactly. So yeah. So anyway, I'll probably cut it there then. Could be a good spot to learn SFM then. The purpose of the stream originally was, I had a lot of people asking questions on how to do things. Like, can you teach me how to do this? Can you teach me how to do that? And so it's hard to do that one-on-one to answer everybody's question, especially when a lot of it requires like physical showing of how to do it. So the idea behind it was I can get work done. But if a question comes up, I can then not just show one person, I can show everybody that's there as to how I would go about something. So the purpose of it is to help. So if somebody does ask a question on SFM of like, how do you do this? How do you do that? I will take the time to do it. That is, working on stuff is secondary to helping if people come up. So yes, if you are looking to learn how to use SFM, sometimes just watching people poke around the software is a lot. But otherwise it's a tool to help you learn if you want, or just ask questions. So, but no, otherwise, thank you guys for chilling for like a little over an hour and just kind of hanging out. Like I said, I'll be doing these potentially after any animation comes out, and then another one this summer. So if you're like looking to have something really, really stupid made like in a minute, we'll probably be doing a stream with that later. So otherwise, have a good one and all that. See you guys later. Thank you very much. And as normal on a stream, we end it with Kitty. So we're going to end it with Kitty. So, all right. Thanks guys. See you later. Thanks for the support. Appreciate it.